Good morning everyone. I am Dr. Urvashi Sharma, Associate Professor, Department of Obs and Gynae, Mahatma Gandhi Hospital. We will be discussing diagnosis of pregnancy today. So, how do you diagnose pregnancy in the first trimester, in the second trimester and in the third trimester? First trimester is from 0 to 12 weeks. Second trimester is between 13 to 28 weeks and third trimester between 29 to 40 completed weeks. This diagnosis relies on three pillars, that is the history, second is the clinical examination and third the investigations. Now history. Usually they are young females in the reproductive age group with symptoms of amenorrhea during reproductive age. In a healthy female having previously normal periods is likely due to pregnancy, except in cases of lactational amenorrhea. Now the presumptive signs in the first trimester are amenorrhea, morning sickness, frequency of micturition and breast discomfort. So you can see the breast changes during pregnancy. There is pronounced pigmentation of the primary areola, appearance of secondary areola, development of Montgomery tubercles and increased vascularity. So the breast changes, usually there is breast enlargement, nipples and areola become more pigmented, Montgomery tubercles are prominent, thick yellowish secretion which is known as the colostrum is expressed as early as 12th week. But these breast changes, they are valuable only in the primary gravida patients. Nausea and vomiting is a symptom of pregnancy, but it may progress to excessive vomitings which is known as hyperemesis gravidarum. Hyperemesis gravidarum, it may be present in cases of twin pregnancies and the hereditary-form moles where the HCG levels are high. Now on per abdominal examination, what do you find? Usually there is enlargement of the uterus and which can be felt per abdominally only after the 12th week of pregnancy, because after 12 weeks the uterus becomes a abdominal organ. Before that it is a pelvic organ, so it is not palpable per abdominally. So what can be the DD? With the midline swellings, it could be a fibroid uterus, it could be a full bladder or an adnexal mass. Now what are the pelvic changes? This is the Chadwick sign, which is the bluish discoloration of the anterior vaginal wall, and this is basically due to the local vascularity and the congestion, and it is seen usually in the 8th week of pregnancy. Osiander sign, which is also seen in the 8th week, there is increased pulsation in the lateral fornix of the vagina. Then Goodale sign, that is the softening of the cervix. This is evident as early as 6th week of pregnancy. So this is the demonstration of Hagar's sign, and the second graph there is demonstration of the graphic demonstration of Palmer's sign, that is at 4th to 8th week, and the figure B is at the 10th week. Now Piscax signs, that is the asymmetrical enlargement of the uterus. This is basically due to the lateral implantation of the fetus. Now that was the history and the examination part. Now what are the investigations to diagnose the pregnancy? Can be the immunological tests and the ultrasonography. In the immunological tests, usually the Sandwich ELISA test, which is also known as the CARD test. The test sensitivity depends upon the HCG. It should be between 30 to 50 milli-international unit per ml in urine. Now the principles of immunological test of pregnancy. What happens is, in a pregnant woman, if the urine contains HCG and plus there is HCG antiserum, there is neutralization of the antibody plus HCG coated latex particles are there, so there is no visible agglutination. But in case of non-pregnant women where the urine does not contain HCG, if you mix it with the HCG antisera, HCG antibody is not neutralized and HCG coated latex particles, they have the visible agglutination. So this is the summary of the principal tests. The various immunological tests are the agglutination test, inhibition test, which is the latex test, direct latex agglutination test, two-side sandwich immunoassays, which is also known as the membrane ELISA test or the CART test. So they all have different sensitivity. The agglutination latex test, it is positive on after 2 days of the mist period, whereas the direct latex agglutination test, it is positive 2 to 3 days after the mist period. And this sandwich test, this is usually positive on the first day of the mist period, that is the 28th day of the cycle. The various kits in card forms are available. Then the ELISA test, it is highly sensitive. It is done in the serum, and the HCG concentration is usually 1 to 2 milli-international unit per ml. It is positive 5 days before the first mist period. Then where there are the radioimmunoassays, they can be they are positive as early as 25th day of the cycle and the 8 days after conception. Now the ultrasonographic features. There is the double decidual sign. You can see this in this picture clearly. There is the gestational sac in the center, and this is the double decidual sign. Now on transvaginal sonography, the gestation sac is visible as early as the 4th week of gestation. Here you can clearly see the yolk sac, the amnion, the chorionic cavity, the amniotic cavity, and on this TVS the cardiac activity may be visible as early as 5th week of gestation, and the critical titer of HCG for TVS is 1500 international unit. HCG range is between 1000 to 2000 international units. On transabdominal sonography, the gestation sac is visible as early as 5 weeks of gestation, and the cardiac activity at 6 weeks of gestation, and the critical titer for transabdominal sonography are 6500 international units. Now we were talking of the tests in the first trimester. Now coming on to the second trimester. Amenorrhea continues, but nausea and vomiting and frequency of micturition usually subsides. The symptoms are quickening, which is the feeling of life within, is felt as early as 18 weeks in a multigravida and a little later, that is 20 weeks in case of primigravidas. There is progressive enlargement of the lower abdomen. Signs. On general physical examination, there is chloasma, that is pigmentation of forehead and cheeks, which appears at 24th week. Breasts are enlarged and prominent veins are seen. Stria seen at about 20th week. Secondary areola demarcated, especially in primigravidas. Abdominal examination. On inspection, you can see stria gravidarum. They are depressed streaks on the skin of fat areas like abdomen, breast and thighs. After delivery, they regress, persist as stria albicans. They are due to stretching and may be associated with increased secretion of ACTH affecting connecting. Now on palpation, the fundal height increases, uterus is soft, elastic, ovoid. Braxton Hicks contractions may be felt on abdominal examination, and palpation of fetal parts usually 20th week onwards, and active fetal movements can be felt after 20 weeks, and there is external ballotment. So this is the chart showing the enlargement of the uterus and its relation to the weeks. At 12 weeks, it is lies at the level of symphysis pubis. Then at 16 weeks, midway between umbilicus and symphysis pubis. Then at 22 weeks, at the level of umbilicus, and thereafter it goes on increasing at 38 weeks. Then after 40 weeks, it regresses down due to head engagement inside the pelvic cavity. This is again the same diagram. Fundal height usually corresponds to the period of amenorrhea, but it may be more in certain cases, like whenever there is a wrong date, multiple pregnancies, in case of H-mole, in case of big baby, and in cases of polyhydramnios. Now auscultation. Auscultation of the fetal heart sound, usually by a fetoscope or a stethoscope. It is best heard on the side of the back of the fetus. In vertex presentations, the fetal heart sound is best heard midway between the line joining the umbilicus and the anterior superior iliac spine on the side of the back. In breech presentation, FHS is heard above the umbilicus, and count of the fetal heart sound for 1 full minute. Uterine shuffle. The sound is synchronous with the maternal pulse and is due to increased blood flow through the dilated uterine vessels. It can be heard in big uterine fibroids also. Fetal shuffle. It is the soft blowing murmur synchronous with the fetal heart sounds. Thank you.